Good afternoon from Mexico. Good evening from different countries. Hello, this is Fernanda from Toluca saying hello to you. Welcome to the class today with all the positive energy that we need to work every day. And you are going to say, okay, in Africa it's night. That's no problem. Anyway, you need to be in a positive attitude, including to sleep, because if not, you are not going to sleep well. Okay, everybody. Nice to see you here. Memory. Welcome to the class today.
Welcome.
Pretty good.
Thank you.
Wellington, welcome to the class.
Thank you.
Nice to see you, my dear friend.
Thank you very much.
Happy to see you here and thinking that you are going to be the teacher next class because I'm going to travel.
Yes.
So good.
Fernanda, I want to ask a question, please.
Sorry?
Yes, I want to ask a question quickly.
Yeah, tell me.
Yes, mistakenly, I've not been, signing the attendance. I only started it last week, so I don't know how it's going to affect me.
Okay. I'm going to explain that in a moment. Let me start.
All right.
Okay, teachers, I'm going to show you my screen because I'm going to explain to you how to work in the teacher tutor diploma. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen, which is here. To join into the teaching tutor diploma, we have to follow these steps. Click it in your internet surfer, campusfmm.com. campusfmm.com. This is the virtual campus of the Marcelino Munoz Foundation. Here we have the flags of the different languages that we have the programs, and here we are going to choose English area. So we are going to check here. We have generation in Spanish, in English, in Portuguese, in French. This presentation is for parents, it's in Spanish, and this presentation is for students, are in Spanish too. So we are going to click in generation number 10, which is the generation which is now registering. And we are going to see here the campus, the area to register. If you have not registered yet, you have to join into this form, complete this form, which is 100% free. You don't have to pay any money. And we are going to complete this form and register into the virtual campus. Remember, full information with the correct information, because in this way is how you are going to get your last or final certificate. So your name, your last name must be very clear. Your email is going to be your username, but only the first part of the email, as I'm showing you here. My email address is this, and my username is this. And the password, I suggest you use your ID number, because that is a personal number and it's only for you and you never forget. So it's necessary to have a password which you don't forget. When you have finished to complete this form, you click it here, register, and that is how you are going to be into the platform, into the virtual campus. If you have registered in the generation number 10 on September, you click it here. If you registered in August, in the month of August, last month of August, you have to click it here, generation number 9. If you have registered it in July, you have to click it here in generation number 8. And if you have registered it in June, you click it here in generation number 7. Remember, generation number 7 is going to close on September 30 at the end of this month. So you have a short time to finish your pass. So as I enroll in the generation number 8, I'm going to show you how it works. You have to click it here. Here is my username and my password. And we click it there, and I am in my virtual campus. You see? Then we are going to go to the Teaching Tutor program, and we can read each part of this is in English, and each part of this has the information that you need. After that, you have to work module by module. You could click it here in each module, starting on the first one in the first part of the module. And here we have the resources, the motivational capsules, the forum, the questionnaires, all the things that we need to complete. In this part, as I have not done yet, I have to complete this to have this part in green color. And after that, I will download my questionnaire, my diploma of the module number 5. As you can see, questionnaire of the fifth purpose of the teacher tutor is necessary to complete. For that reason, it's not available for me now. If you don't do that, if you don't decide to go module by module, as I show you here, you could click it here. And here you have the modules and each step that you have to complete in each module. You see, here is with a green mark, which means that I have completed. This process is not completed. That is the reason, because it doesn't have the green mark. I could click it here in the module number 5 in the area which I have to complete, or I could click it here in the blue signal, and there is going to send me to the area that I have to complete. That is the full explanation that you need to complete this process. Do it step by step, reading, watching, and doing every step that the platform, the virtual campus, show you. It's not difficult, only needs to be with compromise to complete all of this. When you have finished the 10 modules, you need to complete 10 attendances to the classes like this. But you say, okay, Fernanda, last week I didn't have internet, so it was not possible for me to connect. Don't worry. We have each Thursday 2 schedules. In the morning of Mexico at 7 a.m. or in the noon of Mexico at 2 p.m. In this moment here in Mexico is 2 p.m. So you can calculate what time do you have in your country, and then you can calculate what schedule are you going to choose. You have to complete 10 attendances of these classes. Doesn't matter if you start in the module number 4, because it's a cycle and it's going to repeat next Thursday and the next month. Okay? So you have more or less 3 months after to register to complete all this program. So you have time to do it without any problem. Perfect. Okay, my dears, this is the explanation about the program in the virtual campus. Now, we are going to start with the class today, but I'm looking for you. You are so serious. What happened?
No, we just okay. It's okay. I'm just okay.
I like to see your smile. That is, I like to see your smile. I say, what
We are
happened?
listening.
They are so worried. What happened?
We were paying
We were
attention
just
to what
calculating.
he was
We were
showing.
listening. We were very listening to
No,
you.
but I
We are
love to
listening
see
to you.
your teeth. I love to see your smile.
Okay.
Yeah.
We are smiling now.
Okay, today we're going to start with the module number 4 of the Advanced Comprehensive Educational Program. Very nice. So today we're going to work with this. Welcome to everybody. If it's your first time, you are going to share with us a really good time. The Advanced Comprehensive Educational Program was created by this person, Dr. Marcelino Munoz. Dr. Marcelino Munoz created the foundation 25 years ago. Really, actually, today, this month, September, we are celebrating our 25th anniversary. So we are so happy for that. Thanks for Dr. Marcelino Munoz to make this true. Okay, I would like to ask to Abdullah, please read the presentation.
Okay. The Miscellaneous Munoz Foundation is a non-profit political or religious organization widely known in Mexico with international projection, which has expanded in America, Europe, and Africa through the development of educational programs of great values, which institutions can evaluate.
Thank you so much, Abdullah. Marcelino
Welcome.
Munoz Foundation, it's a non-profit, no political, or no religious organization. We are not talking about any kind of these topics. We are only working for transforming the world we have for the world we want, educating for a quality life in the world. Okay. When Dr. Marcelino Munoz created this program, he decided to add motivational capsules. And you are going to ask yourself, why? Because Dr. Marcelino Munoz decided that the people who is motivated, it's a people who is going to work better, who is going to complete the activities in a right way. So we need to be motivated. That is the reason because I ask you, please smile. Remember always, if you smile to the life is going to smile to you. Okay? So smile, please, smile. When I want to say good afternoon, because I am in Mexico and this is afternoon, you will answer good afternoon, good evening, depending the time that you have. And when I ask you, how are you? You will answer in peace, free, happy, successful, and fulfilled. Are you ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah, sure.
Perfect. So, good afternoon from Mexico.
Good afternoon
Good
from
evening from
Good
Ghana.
evening.
Good evening from Sierra
From
Leone.
Malawi.
Good evening from Sierra Leone.
Good evening from Sierra Leone.
Sierra Leone.
From Malawi.
Sierra Leone.
Good evening from Sierra Leone.
How are you today?
In peace,
Happy, successful, and fulfilled.
Successful and fulfilled.
and fulfilled.
Yeah, that's great. Great, great, great. Okay. The purpose of the teacher-tutor diploma. I would like to ask to Tatiana, please read the purpose of the teacher-tutor diploma.
Okay. The fundamental purpose of the teacher-tutor program by the year 2050 is to reduce the educational gap and for 70 out of every 100 students who begin primary school to complete a professional career, and thus, in this way, achieving the necessary quality of life in people in their most sublime purposes, living in peace, free, happy, successful, and fulfilled.
Thank you so much, Tatiana. You are from Ecuador?
Yes, Maria Fernanda, I'm from Ecuador.
Ah, it's curious because I'm from Ecuador and my cousin has your name. Your name is the same name of my cousin.
Ah, that's a coincidence.
Yeah, a very good coincidence. I was thinking about her. Yeah, the fundamental purpose of the teacher tutor diploma is to reduce the educational gap. There is a lot of problems in the world which has with the children, with the students who doesn't finish the elementary school. They don't finish the elementary school, they don't finish the high school, they don't finish the college, they don't have nothing. And we are trying to do this work. With this work, we are trying to solve this situation. Okay, here we have the 10 purposes of the teacher tutor as guide, counselor, and advisor to the students. I would like to ask to Abdullah. Could you read the first 5, please, Abdullah?
Yes, ma'am. Number 1, guide students in the course of their professional career. Number 2, advise students on the importance of attending classes. Number 3, advise them on the benefits of punctuality. Number 4, accompany them when they have failed subjects. And number 5, guide them about sales and being entrepreneurs.
Thank you so much, Abdullah. Celia,
Welcome.
could you read the next 5, please? Celia?
Yes, surely. Thank you very much. 6, motivate them to learn to speak in public. 7, guide them to make good decisions. 8, encourage them to develop social projects. 9, promote the practice of values. And 10, promote physical, mental, and emotional health care.
Thank you so much, Celia. I'm looking into the group. There is Abraham and Beatriz. You are spouses? Could you open your microphone? Mr. and Mrs. Owusu Papuse, Abraham and Beatriz. You are together in the class? They are from Ghana. Okay, I think they don't listen me too. Okay. These are the 10 purposes of the teacher tutor diploma. Why these 10 purposes? Each purpose is very important for our program because if we achieve to guide the students in the core of their professional career, advise them in the importance of assistant classes, attending classes, advise them on the benefits of punctuality, accompany them when they have failed subjects, guide them about sales and being entrepreneurs, motivate them to speak in public. In the morning, I was remembering when I was a child, my grandmother used to ask me, what would you like to be when you are going to be an adult? And she told me, I answered, I want to be a pilot. And she said, pilot? Yes, a pilot. Because a pilot is alone in the airplane. And I want to do that because I don't want to talk to public. I don't want to speak in public. And she said, are you sure? I said, yes. In this moment, I am a speaker, an English and Spanish speaker. And I have spoken for 2,000 people at the same time. So, it's a big difference to be a pilot and to be a speaker. But sometimes some people motivate me to speak in public. Actually, it was my Spanish teacher in the high school. That is important. We are teachers, we are tutors, and we motivate our students. Guide them to make good decisions. In this world now, in this time, we have a lot of problems, because children, teenagers have a lot of information in the internet, in the social media, in the TV, and anywhere. And they have this information, but they don't have knowledge. It's not the same. You could have a lot of information, but you don't have the necessary knowledge to do the right things. So they make bad decisions. That is the situation, because now we have a lot of terrible situation with suicide, for example. Because the information, it sometimes is not good. Encourage students to make social projects, to develop social projects. Is necessary to serve to the people, to receive something good. Promote the practice of values. For me, a human being without values is not a human being. And promote physical, mental, and emotional health care. Let's imagine something. I am in this moment so sad. I am not emotional healthy. I'm going to come to you to see you, and I'm going to say, okay, tutors, good afternoon. Today we are going to have the class for the diploma. What do you think? No. Fernanda is not okay. What happened with Fernanda? Yes. Because we need to be emotional, mental, and physical healthy. If no, we have a problem. And that happened with the teacher, with the tutor, when arrives to the class and say, today I am in a bad mood. Don't disturb me because we are going to have problems. The children are going to be scared. Yes or no?
Yes.
You see? Okay. The topic today is accompany them when they have failed subjects. I would like to listen to you. Tell me, please, what is the reason for you? Could be different. What is the reason because the students fail subjects? Who wants to participate? I would like to listen to you, eh? Memory.
Hello.
Thank you very much for providing me this time to speak. Firstly, I would like to look at the word fail. I feel like to fail is to lack to reach a particular mark or a particular goal or a particular destination. Because of the behind definition that I have, it gives me that this doesn't just come, but follows some factors that lead to this failure. One of them is about lack of preparation. If a learner is not well prepared, definitely the end result will be failure. This also occurs even to the leaders, even teachers that take the information to learners. If they have not prepared well, definitely they will lead into failure to students. Even themselves will not perform well. I have also seen some study habits that we've engaged in. We have got some challenges and difficulties to be able to extract only important points in the how we are supposed to use those important points so that they have to be in line with the questionnaires. If at any time we may be examined. I understand also sometimes it's communication breakdown. We say lack of adequate understanding. You find out that you are teaching, but Elena is not listening, or he can listen, but he cannot understand. To listen is just very simple. Just hear the sound coming into my ears, and I can be able to transfer what is happening. But to translate the definition and the meanings of the message that is coming to me, if I fail, definitely it leads to failure to achieve what is intended for. Simply, it means that when I fail to understand the substance, subject, substance, or content, definitely I will fail, or Elena will fail as well. Some, of course, that are just like issues of illness. Sometimes the learner is ill, and then it's also the time they're doing their examinations and the like. There, it also leads to them to fail deal with the examinations. But some others also are personal issues. They have got their own issues. They have crushed themselves since, as you talked about, various mental health as well as physical health and others. If he is not normal, Elena is not in those situations well managed. Definitely, they are come in a failure or a factor to lead them to fail. The last one, but least, is also about laziness. Some of us are just lazy. Whatsoever instruction we're given, we fail to follow, and even those learners that we teach, they fail to follow some instructions, and they miss the assessment dates in the assignment dates. You find out that you are failing, but because we are simply lazy. But above all, home life also. Home life is also a challenge of some kind. We go home, find out no food, no good remarks from the relatives, parents, and whatsoever. They always say, you not do well, you cannot pass. You had always the comments become negative. So you cannot, Elena might not be encouraged to continue trying hard so that he or she can do well in life. Temporarily, let me stop there. I've seen these being the reasons for failure. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Memory. Very important about your apportation. Thank you so much. Okay, anybody else? The question is, why or what do you think the students have failed subjects? Eric.
I can contribute.
Wait a moment, Charles, please. First, Eric. Eric and Pande, please open your microphone. It's not listening.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now.
Oh, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. For me, what I see, or from my experience, because I have been a student and I am still a student.
Okay.
For you not to fail, you have to first of all be in love with what you are doing. We are students, we are taught by teachers. You also have to be in love with your teachers. Once you hate your teacher, you will fail the subject. Because no matter how best he explains the material, you will not comprehend anything because you hate him. The fact that you hate him will contribute to your failure. 2, you have to love the subject that you are learning. I remember I used to hate mathematics. The moment it's time for mathematics, I would rather stay outside the class, and I even hated the teacher that was teaching mathematics. Eventually, I would find out that, okay, In other terms, I failed mathematics. But when it came to the last class of secondary school, I was motivated by others saying that if you don't do mathematics, then your certificate will be nothing. So then I started concentrating on mathematics, and then I passed. So what I'm trying to say is you have to be in love with the subject and be in love with the person that is teaching the subject. Then you will do well, or else risk to fail. The other reason might be the proximity of the school you are attending. There are some people that are staying there at the school, they are doing boarding. There are some, like here in Africa, you can walk very long distance. I think there's a guy from Malawi. He can agree with me because I'm also coming from Malawi, but I'm in South Africa right now. We are used to walk long distances to go to school. You get to school, you are exhausted. The teacher is teaching, you are not concentrating. So the proximity of the institution you are attending can also contribute to your failure. I think let me stop there for now. I will come back when I find more reasons. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Eric. I'm completely agree with you. I have to tell you something. I hate history. Until now, I hate history. Why? Because when I was a child, a teenager, I was in the high school, and the people in the school delegate me to control the assistants of the teachers. And with casualty, the history teacher always was late in the class, always. And each day he arrived late, and he told me, okay, Senor Miss Walotunya, you have to give me the lesson. I said, teacher, that's not my problem. You arrived late. I have to register your lately arrived. And he said, it's not my problem. You have to give me the lesson. And in that moment, I hate the teacher. And in that moment, I hate the history. And until now, I don't like history. I'm curious but you say, Eric, that's right, because the teacher is the person who inspired the student to enjoy the subject. Your teacher inspired you to enjoy mathematics. And this teacher didn't inspire me to enjoy history. And that's my problem. Okay, but don't worry. I know history because like I travel for different countries, I like it to learn about the country before to go. Because I need to know where I'm gonna go, no? Okay. Thank you so much, Eric. Aaron Mayra.
Yes, good evening.
Good
Can you hear
evening.
me?
Yes. Continue, Aaron.
All right, yeah. Yes, I'm from Mozambique. Yeah, I agree with what some my colleagues have just said, but there's another factor which can cause the student to fail the subject. And I just want to mention about some of the teachers. They stick on to the old ways of teaching because students, they are grouped into 3 groups. We have visual students. They like to see pictures, videos, something like that. And we have auditory students. They like to discuss when they are learning. And we have kinesthetic, something like students which they like to do things in groups, something like that. So if a teacher is sticking to one strategy of teaching, like that can be something that can contribute for a student, not because that cannot help the student to understand what the teacher is trying to say. So I'm trying to say the teachers must try to change their ways of teaching so that they can accommodate all the students. So I agree that when a student fails, The teacher need to empathize, sympathize with the student, trying to help, to search for ways so that they can help the student to, because the teacher may contribute for the student to fail sometimes. So they just don't leave the students that he was not paying attention, he was not, they should try to look for a way to help the student to succeed.
Yeah, thank you, Aaron. You are a teacher?
Absolutely, I'm an English teacher, yeah.
Oh, you are my colleague. I'm an English teacher too. So great. Perfect. Thank you so much. But you look so young.
Yeah, I'm still.
Very good. Thank you so much. Okay, Geoffrey. Geoffrey Chimpepo.
Yes, good evening. It's good evening here in Mozambique. I am Malawian, but currently I am in Mozambique. Uh, I want to agree with my colleagues, what they have said. And I also want to add another point that can be uh, peer pressure. I think Aaron was close to it. And sometimes students, they share what someone has. For example, I am a student. I can behave uh, differently, and but according to what I do, maybe someone may be interested in what I am doing. You see, in so doing, that behavior is being transmitted to others, making them to fail the subject. And I also to agree with Mr. Eric on point what he said that distance. I'm also working for long distance and getting to the class late and exhausted. Then we may soon may come up with a different idea or not paying attention to that subject. You see, and also now I face also the same problems. I am also an English teacher here in Mozambique. Sometimes
Okay.
when I get in my class and I ask my students, they say, teacher, give me some 2 3 minutes. I have to rest. You see, meaning that it is also a factor that also contributes to the students not to to be at their best. But fortunately, when I read this program and material, that motivation is the best thing we can have to our students, so that we can take them to their best level. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Geoffrey. Andrew? Andrew Williams? Andrew Williams? No connect. Woodwind
Can I?
Holibet? Go, a moment, please, Eric. Woodwind
All right.
Holibet?
Yeah,
Hello,
hello.
are you getting
Can
me
you hear
clearly?
me? Can you hear me?
Okay, wait a moment, Andrew. Woodwind, go ahead, continue.
Yeah, everything they've said so far, everything is in line. It makes sense. And I think I'm adding to one of the people who was talking about how the students are visual learners, auditory learners, and all that. But in Africa, most places, we don't have the teaching and learning materials at our disposal. Even for those who have simple ways of learning where they need a book to read or to watch a video, those things are not available. It's a general problem, at least where I'm from in Ghana. So maybe the teacher has to find the YouTube videos himself or herself and then try to explain what is happening to the children from the video. And then because of the lack of parental involvement, most parents just park their children in school like you're supposed to go to school, so go. When you close, I'll come and pick you or you come home. They don't really get involved in the day-to-day activities of the children during their education system. They don't even check for homework. Some don't care about their progress in school. It's just so low. in motivation. So the child feels like I'm going to school to go to school, so I'm here. When you close, I'll go home. So they are not motivated. So these two are also problems we face in getting the children to pass. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Goodwin Oliver. Oliver, Andrew.
Hello, good evening to you all.
Good evening.
Good evening. Yes, and I agree with my colleagues that with regards to students' performance is based on the teachers is based on what or the way how the teacher has been handling the situation. Like for example, if a teacher, there are several ways in which the teacher can do things to a student that the student will feel discouraged. Like for example, if a student did not do well in a test, going to that class and then announce, you John, you score 0. That's one. It will even make the student not to even attend lectures or class, because by so doing it discourages that student for for not it discourages the students for not attending lectures. And also even talking about parents, there are several ways parents discourage their children. Like if they do not do well in their test, some parents will even tell their children, you are very stupid, you are not doing well. There are several ways. You must encourage the students. Encourage them is very, very important than to just use words. Those, by so doing, they even end up to become dropouts, and that is very discouraging. So that is my contribution.
Thank you so much, Andrew. That's right.
That's right. Welcome.
That's right. What you're saying. I'm reading in the chat most participation, which I like to read. Students are not properly observed but to align their interests into the type of subject modules of each period. Lack of passion and not following instruction. And that was one of my favorite. Some students fail due to being overwhelmed by a lot of learning material in a short period of time. That is true. Additionally, some students fail because they store their notes without studying them till examination time. That's right. The problem sincerely lies on the part of teachers, parents, students, and school heads in most cases. In Africa, most parents claim they want their children to study well and pass all subjects, but the actions they take as parents to achieve these results work against their claims. That's right. That's not only in Africa. It's all over the world. Students treat school works carelessly, and most value committing to malpractices to pass. When these malpractices routes are stopped, they simply fail because they depend on this illegal way to pass. Yeah, that is real. That is very, very bad, but it's real. That is happening. Most of the cases, the teachers are not very trained to do as a teachers. Sometimes the teachers must teach some subjects that they don't know. I could give you an example here in the city where I live. A very good friend of mine, he was mathematics teacher. But in any time he came to my house, your house, and he told me, he asked me, Fernanda, please help me. And I said, why? And he said, because in the school, they obligate me to teach English. And this man didn't know English. He didn't know how to say pollito chicken. No. And I started to teach him English, I teach English him who didn't know nothing about, because he must work as an English teacher. That's crazy. But here in Mexico, here in the house, in the city where I live, that happens. And that is the situation because we have the problems in the schools with the students. The teacher doesn't know. How is the student going to know? No? Crazy, but happens. Okay, Brighton, your opportunity, please.
Okay, fine. I need to contribute on this issue, meaning to say that most of the learners are failing maybe to understand the question or topic. This one, most of these learners, they are not fully grasping what is being asked in question, or not understanding the topic that is being covered. This happens just because students may not have a strong foundation of that subject, or they may be paying close attention to the question that is being asked. So we as the teachers, the teachers, we need to encourage our learners, encourage our students, maybe to read the questions carefully and slowly to ensure their understanding what is being asked. And also, we need to give the clarification on topics that is to ensure their understanding. Lastly, we need to encourage our learners, our students, maybe to break down the complex or to break down the topic in parts. Maybe these learners must be well understanding the concept. That is my contribution, Madam.
Thank you so much, Brighton. Omoumi, Christiana.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you. I have a contribution to make on reasons why students fail exams. I want to put it in two ways. Number one, from the perspective of teachers. Teaching is not so easy in this part of Africa that we are. It's better in the Western world and developed countries. But in underdeveloped and developing countries, of which we have Nigeria as part of it, teaching is not so easy. When we look at teaching in Africa, we teachers were struggling to make things happen. Even some of us, we have training from a Western part of the world, but yet our governments in Africa, they're not making things easy for teachers. Therefore, it is affecting the participation in the class. When we look at learning strategies, we have so many strategies that teachers can use to teach in the class. But when we look at all these strategies, it is facilitated by one thing or the other. For example, if a teacher wants to use visual method, now you have to show videos, you have to show this and that. But in a country that the light is not steady, how will such teacher make use of this strategy for visual people? Where you have a kinesthetic strategy, you will see a school that have no apparatus. So we have so many problems in this part of the world. When we come to our government, they are not helping matters. In this part of Africa, we can see that teaching has low remuneration. You'll be working, once they know that you're a teacher, your salary cannot take you to anywhere. And this makes teachers not to even concentrate or to put in their best. There's no motivation on parts of the teacher. So this is discouraging most people. Only the devoted and dedicated ones, you can see that we put in their best. And on part of the learners, we can see this generation we are, there is no readiness on their part. Their family background contributes. You teach learners in the class, you give them assignment. For example, in mathematics, give them assignment. You will see them coming back following day with same assignments. They will tell you that they don't understand. Nobody to assist them. Their parents, some of them will not even have time to sit down with their children and to direct them on what to do. Some of these children come from poor family and they could not their learning materials or basic things that will help them to concentrate in the class. And like some of my have a thread for one particular subject or the other, and they will not be able to do very well in this type of situation. So to the best of my knowledge, if we want our students, our learners to participate better and to pass better, both government, the learners, the parents, we have a lot to do in order to improve teaching and learning, especially in Africa. Because when we look at teaching, Africa is still a little bit backward compared to the Western world. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Christiana. It's not only in Africa, it's all over the world. Here in Mexico is the same. And Celia is in Venezuela and she could tell the same. And Tatiana is in Ecuador and she could tell the same. We need to be very motivated because as you say, Christiana, teachers has no good payment in everywhere. But we are motivated because we know as teachers, we have in our hands the future of the world. Because we are not going to have doctors, we are not going to have lawyers, we are not going to have engineers, we are not to have nothing if we don't have teachers. So the teachers are the most important people in the world because we have to create the new world. We have the future in our hands and we need to be motivated. That is the reason because I always say, please, 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 energy, attitude, positive attitude in the world. Any government is going to give us the necessary things that we need. But we need to try to get and improve these situations because it's in our hands. Working with all the people in our communities, yes. But we must be the leaders. Okay, for Muhan, goodness. Your turn, please. For Muhan, goodness? No, it's not possible.
I can start.
Okay. Yes, please.
Thank you, Mom, for the platform. So I equally wish to say that another reason for why students fail in school is we have language barrier. Like here in Cameroon, where it is bilingual, the French and English. So here, teachers come, for instance, a teacher from the Francophone subsystem comes to teach a lesson at the English subsystem. So students they are not concentrated because they cannot understand what the teacher is saying, and so they escape away from classes, and the end result is that they fail at the end. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, in resume, let's make a resume. We need motivation. We need energy. We need preparation to do a good job. And we need to work in team because only teachers cannot move the world. We need the collaboration of the parents, of the family, the community, the government, and all over the world. We need to be motivated to motivate. We need to be positive with the other. We need to be happy to make the people happy because we need to contagious this energy to all of them. Very interesting that we have shared today with the topic. I don't know. If we never fail, we never learn. And if you look at the history books, some of the best and brightest have stumbled before they found their feet. Yeah, if you don't fall down, you don't know how to stand up. But you need to stand up and increase that and create more things. Failing a subject is not to anyone's liking. Failing to achieve a goal and having to study again to repeat is frustrating for the most student. Remind them that failure does not define them. An exam or a subject does not determine their worth. Tell them that this is just a temporary obstacle and that cannot overcome it. We have talked about this. What would be the obstacles? What could be the society to do to support them? And in your experience, how do you solve it? Okay, here we have a short video that I would like to share with you. After that, we are going to discuss to make the final work in this class today.
You're in a class, it's near the beginning of the semester, you write an exam or you hand in an essay and you don't get the mark that you desired. Okay, so what are your options? Well, one option would be, so you've hit an anomaly, things didn't happen the way you wanted them to happen. And so maybe you say, geez, that was a boring and stupid class anyways, this gives me an excuse to get out, and so that's not such a negative thing. Or you think, oh, well, I really better buckle down and study, and you decide to stay in the class. So basically what you've done is maintained your framework. I'm going to work through this class, but you've decided to modify some of the subroutines that make up that frame. You say, well, I should study more next time, or I have to prioritize this class compared to other classes. So it's a micro alteration within the overarching framework. But another thing you can do is say, to hell with the class, I'll just drop it. And so the advantage to that is problem gone. The disadvantage is, well, now you have a different problem, which is, okay, fine, you drop the class, do you have another class that you can replace it with? Is that a good way of dealing with a micro failure, you know, to move up a level of analysis and throw out the whole frame? Because you could also say, well, maybe I should just drop out of university and maybe I should go hang myself, you know. Well, it's the same line of logic, it's just taken up to a higher degree of abstraction. And so, generally speaking, you don't want to solve a problem by moving up a level and wiping out the frame within which the problem was experienced. You want to do that carefully, because in principle the frame that you were working within you'd already assigned value to it and worked at it. You've already invested in it. It's a big sacrifice to blow out the whole frame. Now sometimes you can do it. So anyways, what happens is, well, you get the bad grade and you're upset about it, and so you've been plunged from your happy, satiated state, let's say, into a state of relative chaos. And the chaos is, oh, I hit an obstacle, I didn't expect it, and now I don't know what to do. And so what does it mean to not know what to do? Well, it can mean I need to study harder. It can mean I should drop this course. It can mean I should major in a different subject. It could mean maybe I shouldn't be in university. It could mean maybe my future plans have been formulated badly. It can mean my future plans have been formulated badly because I don't understand myself very well and I've been telling lies about my past, right? The thing can really expand on you. And that's what the chaotic domain is. That's the remanifestation of those things that you had considered irrelevant, right? Because when you go to pick up the exam, you've got your identity as a competent student intact. You're not questioning whether you should be in the course or whether you should be in that major or whether you should be in university. None of that. That's all in the implicitly accepted category. And as soon as the anomalous event emerges, all of those things that you had rendered axiomatic start to become questionable. And that's like the shark coming up from the depths to pull you down. And that's the classic way of representing that and of symbolizing it. That's Jonah and the whale, for example. So it's something is manifests itself from the deep unknown and pulls you under, like an alligator at a water hole, which is, I'm sure, one of the sources from which we derived that particular kind of mythological representation. Because you can imagine that when we were on the veldt, after living on trees, we had to go down to the damn water holes, and you've watched enough nature programs to know what a Nile crocodile can do to a water buffalo. It's not pretty. And so to go down to the water the chaotic water, and the source of all life as well, right, is to risk an encounter with the terrible thing that lurks in the depths. And so we use that as a central metaphor for mapping the sorts of things that happen to us in a much more abstract space. And you know that because one of the things you're going to do, let's say that the professor, there's a professor obviously who gave you the bad grade. Okay, so one logical presupposition is that you're in some sense insufficient in relationship to the course. But another logical and instantaneous categorization is to throw that person into the category of malevolent predator. And you'll do that by becoming upset and cursing the person in your imagination.
So we have checked this video. Okay, this is turning to YouTube. No, we are not watching to YouTube now. Andrew, I would like to listen to you. Andrew?
Hello, good evening once again. From the lectures, I learned a lot with regards to education. And one thing about when somebody is being discouraged, the person will have that that sort of decision to even hang himself or to some extent tell lies. I know a friend of mine who was studying in one of the university.
Yeah.
He was having a lot of problem with the lecturer, and to some extent the lecturer would even go to the extent to shout on him. You are not doing well. Just I'm going to give you 0 in that module. So to some extent, it reaches a peak wherein this my friend decided to drop from the university because of the discouragement from the lecturer, and that was a bad decision to my friend because he was ashamed, because most of the time whenever he go for lectures, the lecturer will even tell him, I'm going to give you 0. You are not supposed to be in this class. So that is the way how some students do normally fall.
That is one of the reasons because the student doesn't want to back to the school. Yeah, you're right, exactly. Andrew. Thank you so much. Memory, a little bit quickly, please, because we are on time.
Thank you very much once again for providing me this space. When I listened to the professor himself just explained, at least the first part was some issues that are there encountered by a failing student. That is taking the class itself as a boarding class, whereby then one thinks to move out of that particular class. And sometimes you think to maintain the class. That is a modification that you come, you bring it along as you are looking at the bowling class itself. It also talked about the chaos that happens when you look at the class itself and then you find it out chaotic. Simply you decide to drop out of that particular class and then gets into misunderstanding. But sometimes you have to understand the source of your failure, whereby he said there are some pull down factors that you have to look into them, of which these in most cases that just bring you to risks, you risk yourself, and then provides you insufficiency to perform well as well. But then he came in also with the second part, whereby he was talking about now choices that you can make to improve yourself. That is, if you fail mathematics, you can major in other different subjects. Apart from the subject that you are failing, you have to make sure that you still understand yourself. Again, you reconsider your decisions that you are making because you are failing. Failure is not just like end of everything. But then he also talked about to restart. He used a metaphor of deeper waters. He said, go down to the deeper waters and then come out from there. As you are coming out from there, you are getting yourself another way. And then he also talked about the same lecture, talking to you maybe in a different way, that is a mockery way. he said you have to take that one as your predator and then have the efforts to overcome your predator. That means someone that would like to consume you completely, you have to overcome him or her. Simply, you are going to succeed in your studies. Thank you.
Thank you, Memory. Thank you so much for everybody. It was very important for me to listen to you, to understand what is happening in the educational system in your countries. But it's important to understand also we need to be motivated, we need to be very prepared, and we need to have the full information and the full methods and the full tools to work with the students now. These are the 4 important steps after failing subjects. Learn from mistakes, no make drama, share your doubts, and apply new study techniques. Okay, and 5 minutes later, you remember I am always on time, but in this moment was great the discussion, so I had to give more time. We are going to make the final motivational capsule. Please repeat after to me, but don't repeat only because repeat. Repeat because you really feel in your soul what you are saying. Okay, I believe in myself.
I
believe
in myself.
I believe
I
in my
believe in myself.
intelligence.
I
I
believe in my
believe in my intelligence.
intelligence.
I believe in my capacity.
I
I
believe
believe
in
in my capacity.
my capacity.
I believe in my I believe in my purpose.
I
I
believe
believe in my
believe in
purpose.
my purpose.
Finish my professional career, a master's degree, a doctorate.
Finish my
Finish
professional
my
career and
professional career, a master degree, and a
My
doctorate.
professional career, a master's degree.
End up working as a manager or with my own company. Have a social
Ending up
service spurs for a Nobel Prize.
And I'm
end up working as a manager
As a
of a
manager
company
my
in
own
my own
company.
company with social service
having a Nobel
and Nobel Prize.
Prize.
Be at peace, free, happy, successful, and fulfilled.
Be
Be
at
at
peace,
Be at
free,
peace,
happy,
peaceful, successful,
and
good.
fulfilled.
Die fulfilled.
Die
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 I
good.
fulfilled.
I know I can make it.
I
I
know
I
know
I
know I
can
can
make
make
it.
it.
I know I can make it.
I
I
know
know
I
I
can
can
So I
make
can
it.
make
make
it.
it.
And I am proudly world citizen.
and
And I
probably
am
I'm
a
proudly
world
Citizen of
citizen.
Ghana.
US citizen of
Really, 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 I enjoyed today the class with you, tutors. I really enjoyed with you
thank
the class.
you.
Thank you so much for sharing with
Thank
me this
you.
time. Thank
Thank
you
Thank
so
you.
you.
Thank you
much.
very
Thank you.
much.
thank you.
Goodbye.
Finish.
Thank you so much for sharing with me your opinions and your feelings. I'm sure we are going to make the change.
When
Thank
is
Thank
our
you.
you.
next class?
Thank you, madam.
Please
Sure.
keep in touch. We will have the next class next Thursday, the next module. Don't worry if you have not a possibility, you will have the next Thursday. I have to tell you, I'm not going to be here the next class because I have to travel to a different country. I'm going to Honduras. But the next Thursday, I will be here with a pleasure to share with you. Thank you so much. Please
Thank
don't
you too.
forget,
See
keep smiling, smile to the life, and the life will smile to you. Thank you so
bye
much.
bye.
Exactly, madam.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Tata.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.